All right, I think this is video 6, America, America. Just like when Jesus was weeping over Jerusalem, he's going to be weeping over the West Coast, over North America. The lives are going to be lost. It's going to be catastrophic. Okay, I'm going to zip real quick. 5, 5. About 7 minutes. Okay, so this was the scene. So this, if the earthquake happened around 2 o'clock, and I got to ride back to Nanaimo, would be about an hour and a half. So 2:30, 3:30, 4 o'clock. I probably caught the 5 o'clock sailing, maybe 6 o'clock sailing, depends on the wait time. And but I was a passenger, and for the 5th time, the scene of the vision changed, and I found myself at Horseshoe Bay Terminal, and it takes about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours at most, to make the crossing from Nanaimo to Vancouver to Horseshoe Bay. The ferry was just pulling into port, and it was just getting dark, The ferry was just pulling into port. It was apparent that the news had already reached the mainland, and there was much activity in and around the Horseshoe Bay area. As the ferry backed into the docking zone, I could see that there were many news networks had jammed around the pre-boarding gates. I saw the helicopters, right? I've seen all these helicopters, maybe a dozen helicopters or more. They dropped off the press, and that's what I saw. I saw probably 40, 50, 60 press reporters, ABC, NBC, CTV, all the big ones, more from the States. I've seen some from Canada too, but lots from the States. For some reason, strange reason, they were looking to me for answers. And as I began to say something, the Spirit of the Lord took me over. And still dressed in black, and with a staff in my right hand, a major prophetic warning went out of my mouth for all the people to evacuate the West Coast, and this for all the West Coast, from Alaska right down, right all the way down, right down to West, like North America, down to Central America. Those who refused to heed this warning would not be spared. This was God's mercy, not only to save his own, but to all who would listen to hear his voice. So it's not just to the church, it was to all who would hear. Just like Sodom. God gave Lot and his family time to get out. The time came they had to get out. And God removed the righteous, right? And those who hear and leave, God's going to make a way for them. This destruction that was foretold was God's judgment upon the evil and unrighteous, not only in the Vancouver area, but south to Portland, San Francisco, Los Angeles, San Diego, Mexico, and down to the southern tip of Argentina. God was angry and was about to shake all the west coast beginning in Alaska. It was at this point in the vision that the archangel Gabriel suddenly appeared on my right-hand side and asked me. I thought this part was a further vision, but it happened here. Where can my people go? In answer to his question, I pointed up north to a remote area outside the Prince George area. It's actually in the Hazelton area. In the vision, I handed the angel of the Lord a long white tube that held the blueprints for survival. These blueprints I've been working on since 1988. I've just completed the land, the blueprints for the land this past spring, and now I'm doing the blueprints for the buildings. That's going to make it possible to build refuge places in advance and be ready to go when the beast raises up out of the sea. In the vision, I handed the angel a long white tube that held the blueprints for survival. At the time of the visions, the Holy Spirit had just begun to reveal these plans for the survival of God's people. And so I was getting into drawing out the actual larger layouts. It was not until the spring of 1993 that the first phase of these survival plans were completed. And that's when the Lord told me to write out these visions. But now, I'm working on the final plans, these cabin designs, and these cabin designs are micro dwellings. They go together to make the micro camp, and the micro camps go together to make a larger footprint known as the macro camp. So, just under an acre. This is not the only design. There's a few other designs, but this is the most simplistic using the cabin models. So you need to get back to me. Please contact me, and I'll send you the information that I have. I still need to make the final blueprints. It's going to cost me around $1,200 to $1,500 to buy the material, so you can actually see what one of these cabins will be finished out. And if the Lord puts it in your heart to send me a $50 love offering or $100 love offering or $1,000, do it. You can do an email transfer or bank transfer, but you need to contact me first and we'll set it up. It's not for me, and this is for I saw what's coming. I know what's coming. I saw 3 million people perish in Vancouver, like the Lower Mainland, and those that evacuated from Vancouver Island, they didn't go any further. And one thing that the Lord told me at the time when I made up these pamphlets, He told me not to put in what the angel of the Lord said to the people. I kept that quiet. Now it's time that when the angel of the Lord, when I got off that ferry, I was going to say something in my own strength. And that's when Gabriel appeared, and he possessed my spirit. And when the news people, when they said, how much time? I could see their hearts, and they wanted to know how much time. They were scared. These people were petrified. These news reporters. They wanted to know how much time. And the Lord said, "This is thus saith the Lord," not me. This is the archangel Gabriel. This is what he spoke through my mouth. This is a command from the throne of God. This is God the Father speaking. And when the Lord gave me that command, and the Lord said, "You have no time to sell your homes, only enough time to flee." And that's the times we're getting into. So if you have a home now, you need to sell it while you can, take a loss on it, sell it what you can, and at least pay off your mortgage and have some money left over. And if enough people did this, you could put a plan together, an evacuation plan to leave the West Coast. You could build these cabin models. You could build these shelter systems, and you can have them ready to go. Now, I've seen it in the visions, so I know it's going to happen. I know there's going to be a people that's going to listen. Okay, I'm going to come back in the 5th part.